Welcome to another episode of Thailand Truth Talks. Pattaya's dark side. The scams tourists never see coming. What I'm about to show you could save your life. Or at least your life savings. Behind me is Walking Street, Pattaya's most famous party destination. Millions of tourists flock here every year thinking they're just going to have a good time. But what they don't know is that this place is ground zero for some of the most sophisticated scams on the planet. I'm walking through the exact spots where tourists lose everything. And I mean everything. Their money, their passports, their dignity, and sometimes they don't make it home at all. You see, Pattaya isn't just a party town. It's a hunting ground. And if you don't know the rules of the game, you're not a tourist, you're prey. I've spent months researching the most brutal scams hitting foreigners right here in Pattaya. We're talking about fake police kidnappings, drink spiking operations, and visa traps that can land you in Thai prison. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how these predators operate, who they target, and most importantly, how to make sure you don't become their next victim. But first, let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was a 28-year-old teacher from Australia. She'd saved up for months for her dream vacation to Thailand. 3 days into her trip, she was found unconscious in an alley behind one of these bars next to where I'm currently walking, with no memory of the previous 8 hours and her entire travel fund gone. This is where it happened, and it happens here every single night. Here's how the drink spiking scam works, and why it's so brutally effective in Pattaya. You're having fun. The music's pumping. Drinks are cheap. Someone attractive approaches you. Could be a local. Could be another tourist. Could even be the bartender themselves. They buy you a drink, or they accidentally bump into you while you're holding yours. That split second when your drink leaves your sight, that's all they need. The drug of choice here isn't Rohypnol. It's something called GHB, or liquid ecstasy. Colorless, odorless, and it takes effect in 15 to 20 minutes. But here's the truly sick part. They don't just rob you. They often film you in compromising positions for blackmail later. There are police reports, and trust me, you don't want to know the details. The victims are almost always women traveling solo or in small groups. But guys, don't think you're safe. The Australian woman I mentioned earlier, she thought she was just having drinks with some friendly locals on the beach. Right here to the left, where you see the beach, 2 women and a transgender individual approached Sarah. Seemed harmless enough. 4 hours later, she woke up in her hotel room with 7,000 baht missing and gaps in her memory. Right here to the left, where I'm walking on the beach, is where 2 women and a transgender individual approached Sarah. Now, this place looks legitimate, right? It's clean, it's well lit, seems safe, but this is where the hidden menu scam thrives. Here's how it works. No prices displayed anywhere. The staff is super friendly. The drinks keep flowing. You're having the time of your life. Then comes closing time. That'll be 47,000 baht, sir. Wait, what? That's over 1,200 USD. You ordered maybe 10 drinks max. But suddenly, 3 large men are blocking the exit, and the staff is demanding payment. This happened to a British tourist just last month. He tried to argue, tried to call the police, but guess what? Some of these bars have arrangements with local officers. The tourist ended up paying 30,000 baht just to leave without getting beaten up. The psychological trick here is brilliant and brutal. You're in a foreign country. You're probably drunk. You don't know the local laws. Fighting back seems more dangerous than just paying up. But the most devastating scam of all happens here, on this beautiful beach, during the most romantic time of day. A 32-year-old man from Bangladesh learned this the hard way. Beautiful Thai woman approaches him, strikes up conversation. She's charming, speaks good English, seems genuinely interested. She invites him back to a hotel on Soi Khao Pra Thamnak. He thinks it's his lucky night. Instead, it becomes his worst nightmare. The moment he enters the room, 2 more women appear. They don't just rob him, they assault him, take every baht he has, about 700 USD, and leave him traumatized and too embarrassed to report it properly. Here's what makes this scam so effective. Shame. The victims are often too humiliated to go to the police. They blame themselves. They think, I should have known better. But you know what? That's exactly what the scammers are counting on. So how do you protect yourself in Pattaya's nightlife? First rule, never leave your drink unattended. Not even for a bathroom break. If you have to leave it, order a new one when you get back. Establish a buddy system. If you're traveling with friends, have a code word. If someone says it, you leave immediately. No questions asked. Third, only drink at establishments with clearly posted prices. If they can't show you a menu with prices, walk away. And finally, trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. That friendly local who's buying you drinks and wants to show you the real Pattaya, they're not being nice. They're hunting. But here's where things get really dark. Because sometimes, the people you're supposed to trust are the ones running the biggest scams of all. What I'm about to tell you sounds like something out of a horror movie. But it happened right here in Pattaya, just 3 months ago, and it's caught on CCTV. Chen was a Chinese businessman living legally in Pattaya. He was walking down this very street when 4 men in plain clothes surrounded him. Police, you're under arrest. They showed badges. They acted official. They even had handcuffs. Chen thought it was legitimate. After all, who questions the police? Big mistake. They forced him into a car, drove him 9 kilometers outside the city. For 3 hours, they beat him, threatened him with weapons, and forced him to transfer over 6,000 USDs to their accounts. The scariest part? Bystanders saw it happen, but didn't intervene because they thought it was a real police operation. This isn't some rare occurrence. It's an epidemic. Indian nationals, Chinese residents, even European tourists, they're all being targeted by fake police gangs operating throughout Pattaya. But sometimes, the police are real, and that's when things get even more complicated. A Taiwanese actress made headlines when she exposed what happened to her right here in Thailand. Stopped at a checkpoint, officers claimed her visa paperwork was incorrect. Then they discovered e-cigarettes in her bag. E-cigarettes are illegal in Thailand. The fine, 27,000 baht. That's about 750 USD. Pay up or go to jail. Now, she insisted she had proper documentation, but the officers found reasons to keep pressing. Eventually, she paid up just to avoid a night in Thai prison. The question is, was this legitimate or was this extortion? The line gets very blurry here in Pattaya. Here's where hundreds of foreigners get trapped every single year. The visa extension scam. Imagine this. You're loving life in Pattaya. You want to stay longer. The official immigration process seems complicated, expensive, intimidating. Then someone offers to help. These visa agencies are everywhere. They promise to handle everything. Just give them your passport and 32,000 baht, about 900 USD, and they'll sort it out. In 2023, over 100 foreigners from 10 different countries fell for this exact scam. They handed over their passports and money to a woman running a fake language school. She never processed a single visa. When their tourist visas expired, these people became illegal overstayers. The daily fine for overstaying in Thailand? 500 baht per day, maxing out at 20,000 baht. But if you're caught, you don't just pay a fine. You go to detention. Meet Anastasia, a 23-year-old Russian woman who overstayed her 60-day visa by just 10 days. 10 days. She was arrested, detained in crowded conditions, and told she couldn't be released until she purchased a flight ticket home. Her family had to wire money from Russia just to get her out. This story made international headlines because it shows how unforgiving the Thai system can be. Even a small mistake can destroy your life. But the most terrifying scam involves fake immigration raids. Scammers dress as immigration officers and target expat condominiums and apartments. They show up at your door with fake badges, claiming there's been a report about illegal workers or visa violations. They demand to see your passport immediately. If you're clean, they might still find problems with your paperwork. If you're not clean, well, they offer to fix the problem for a substantial fine. The real kicker? Sometimes actual immigration officials do conduct raids. So how do you know if it's legitimate or a scam? Here's how you protect yourself from both fake and corrupt officials. First, always demand to see official identification. Real police officers are required by law to show their badge and ID card. Fake cops often refuse or show obviously counterfeit documents. Second, record everything if you feel safe doing so. Most legitimate officers won't mind being recorded during official duties. Third, know your rights. The tourist police number is 1155. If you're being questioned or detained, you have the right to contact them. Fourth, never pay any fine or fee on the spot. Legitimate fines are processed through official channels at police stations, not handed over in cash on the street. And finally, if you're truly innocent of wrongdoing, don't be afraid to stand your ground politely. Scammers rely on fear and confusion. The more confident and knowledgeable you appear, the more likely they are to find an easier target. But the most sophisticated scams of all target people who want to do more than just party in Pattaya. They target people who want to work, who want to build a life here. But these scams, they can literally enslave you. What I'm about to tell you sounds like human trafficking. That's because It is human trafficking. 5 Indian men thought they'd hit the jackpot. High-paying call center jobs in Thailand. Good salary. All expenses paid. The job offer came through legitimate-looking websites, professional emails, even video interviews. They quit their jobs back home, bought plane tickets, said goodbye to their families. They were going to make it big in Thailand. Instead, they ended up prisoners. The training facility was actually a compound run by criminal gangs. The job was running online investment scams, targeting victims back in India and other countries. When the men refused to participate, they were beaten, confined, and told they couldn't leave until they'd paid back their recruitment costs, money they'd never actually borrowed. The gang forced them to pretend to be women on social media, luring victims into fake trading apps. Every day they didn't meet their quotas, the beatings got worse. They were rescued only after one man managed to secretly contact his family, who alerted of authorities in both India and Thailand. But it's not just obvious scams. Even legitimate-sounding jobs can trap you. English teaching is huge in Thailand, and Pattaya has dozens of language schools and international programs. The demand is real. The students are eager to learn, and the pay can be decent. But here's where it gets dark. Visa slavery. Many schools hire foreign teachers on tourist visas, promising to sort out the work permits later. Months go by. No work permit appears. You're working illegally, but you need the income, so you keep working. Then you find out the truth. The school never intended to get you a work permit. They're paying you below minimum wage, working you overtime without compensation. And here's the kicker. If you complain or try to quit, they threaten to report you to immigration for working illegally. Congratulations, you're now a slave. The visa and employment agency scams are everywhere in Pattaya. These places promise to handle your work permits, visa extensions, even business registrations. They look professional. They have nice offices. They speak good English. They charge substantial fees, often 50,000 to 100,000 baht, to process your paperwork. Here's what actually happens. They take your money, they take your documents, and they disappear. In 2023, Thai police uncovered a network of 110 corrupt immigration officers who were selling fake visas through front agencies. The scale was massive. Thousands of foreigners thought they had legitimate status when they were actually illegal. When the network was exposed, all those illegal foreigners suddenly became deportable overstayers. But even when the jobs are real, foreign workers in Thailand have almost no protection. No work permit means no labor rights. Employers can extend your hours, pay you late, pay you under the table, or not pay you at all. And if you complain, they call immigration. There are testimonials online of construction workers, bar staff, even restaurant managers who work 12 to 14-hour days, 6 days a week, for below minimum wage, because they're terrified of being reported and deported. So how do you work legitimately in Thailand without getting scammed or enslaved? First, only work with established, reputable companies that have clear track records. Check online reviews. Ask other expats. Verify their business registration. Second, understand Thai labor law. For most professional jobs, you need a degree and the minimum salary is 50,000 baht per month. If someone's offering you less, it's probably not legitimate. Third, never pay any fee to get a job. Legitimate employers pay you, not the other way around. Fourth, a real work permit costs about 3,000 baht through official channels. If an employer won't cover this basic cost, they're not serious about keeping you legal. And finally, keep copies of everything. Every contract, every payment slip, every communication. If something goes wrong, documentation is your only protection. Here's what you need to know to understand about Pattaya. This isn't just a party town anymore. It's become a sophisticated criminal ecosystem where every aspect of tourism and expat life has been weaponized. The drink spiking, the fake police, the visa scams, the labor traps, they're not random crimes. They're organized operations run by criminal networks that understand exactly how to exploit foreign vulnerabilities. These scams work because they exploit fundamental human psychology. We want to trust people. We want to believe that bartender is looking out for us, that the police officer is protecting us, that the job offer is legitimate. We're in a foreign country. We don't speak the language perfectly. We don't understand all the cultural nuances. So we rely on people who seem to know better. That's exactly what predators count on. But this isn't just about money. Every person who gets scammed in Pattaya becomes a story that spreads. Every victim goes home and tells 10 people never to visit Thailand. The real victims here aren't just the tourists getting robbed. It's the millions of honest Thai people whose livelihood depends on tourism, whose country's reputation gets destroyed by criminal gangs. It's the legitimate bar owners, the honest police officers, the real employers who are trying to build something positive here. The Thai government knows these problems exist. They've launched tourist police initiatives. They've cracked down on corruption rings. They've tried to clean up the visa system. But criminals adapt faster than bureaucracies. Every time one scam gets shut down, 3 new ones pop up. That's why you can't rely on the authorities to protect you. You have to protect yourself. So here's your complete survival guide for Pattaya. Number 1, trust no one completely. But don't be paranoid. Verify everything through official channels. Number 2, never leave drinks unattended. Never go to secondary locations with strangers. Never pay for anything without seeing clear pricing first. Number 3, carry copies of your passport and visa documents, but never hand over originals to anyone except official immigration officers at their offices. Number 4, know the emergency numbers. Tourist police is 1155. Your embassy should be in your phone contacts. Number 5, if something feels wrong, it probably is. Trust your instincts over social pressure. Number 6, connect with other expats and long-term tourists. The expat community here looks out for each other because they have to. And finally, remember that most people in Pattaya, Thai locals, other tourists, even most business owners, are honest, decent people just trying to make a living. Don't let the criminals make you hate this place, but don't let them make you naive either. I want to be clear about something. I'm not trying to scare you away from Pattaya. This place can be incredible. The beaches are beautiful. The food is amazing. And most of the people you'll meet are genuinely friendly. But knowledge is power. Every scam I've shown you today has one thing in common. It works best against people who don't see it coming. Now you see it coming. You know how the drink spiking works. You know how the fake police operate. You know how the visa traps function. You know the warning signs, you know the rights, and you know how to protect yourself. That doesn't guarantee nothing bad will happen to you, but it means you won't be easy prey. And in Pattaya, that might just save your life. Stay safe out there. And if this video helped you, make sure to subscribe and share it with anyone else who might be traveling to Thailand. Because the best way to beat these scammers is to make sure their next potential victim is just as prepared as you are.